Kennewick, where the Lions are hosting intra-city rival, the Southridge Suns. I'm Kevin Rons alongside Craig West. And Craig, we're getting down to this kind of the tail end of the season, and every win is important, and especially when you're playing one of your rivals.
Only 3 weeks to go, and this is where a couple of great baseball teams go at it. I've got shirt sleeves, and you're wearing a jacket.
Yeah, no, the wind is blowing outside, and it's blowing to the outfield. Pretty strong right now. It's supposed to be gusting up to 30 miles an hour. Our players to watch, though, first for the Southridge Suns.
Trey Holdren, and I feel old because I called his father in Bend with the Rockies. 16th round pick going back in 1990. Played at Richland High School. Tremendous bat. He used to have a batting cage here.
Yeah, I know he did. Meanwhile, for the Kennewick Lions, it's one of their top hitters and their leadoff hitter, Brady Matson.
Yeah, boy, is he having a great year. Number 1 in the MCC, hitting .516. Can you top that? And number 3 in RBI.
Should be a lot of fun. The intra-city rivals match up next. And Roy Johnson, you're watching high school baseball on SWX. Welcome back to Roy Johnson Field, the Kennewick Lions and the Southridge Suns. Pitching for the Lions, EKU, Dylan Mamiya leads the MCC in ERA at a .34. Does not give up many runs. His opponent, we'll get to him, Nick Wade, in just a little bit, but he's almost as good. First pitch from Mamiya to Trey Holdren is a strike. Holdren, like we said in the open, leads the league leads the Southridge Suns in average. Also leads them in home runs and RBI. And strike 2. Southridge looking for their first win over their rival, their intra-city rival, in almost 5 years. Last time they were able to beat the Lions was back in 2021 in April.
No, we talked about it on the pregame, and go back, of course, his father out of Richland. Saw him play with the Bend Rockies, the original farm team of the Colorado Rockies in '92, but was there in '93.
Line drive right center field. Kelly running back to the fence, off the wall. The wind probably helped that one a little bit. Holdren cruises into second with the leadoff double.
Nice stroke there. Took a pitch, got it, and barreled up just to the right of the Kennewick baseball insignia out in right center field. But the wind.
I just waited on that breaking pitch. The wind blowing out. It's actually dying a little bit. It's still blowing. You're expecting to see some pretty windy conditions, and it's right now blowing straight out.
Not as dramatic as we can know in the Tri-Cities, but
that's true.
It can be a factor once it gets up there. Down here at field level, it might be a little less than it is up above those lights.
I'll bring up Ryan Wade, the catcher. You see strike one. Southridge, a little more power-based. Kennewick, they're going to execute you to death. 8-1 on the season on the lines, tied with Richland, tied with Kennewick, or sorry, with Kennewick, the other K school in Kennewick. All 8-1 in the MCC, so still a lot to be decided over the final 3 weeks.
Nice breaking ball and fisted by Wade. Just got a part of it to advance that count to 0-2. It's one thing about Mamiya. He stays around the plate, mixes the pitches well, and misses bats.
Yeah, sorry, I was wrong. .37 ERA, a .68 whip. Leads the MCC and wins, and then inside hit Ryan Wade.
Well, that changes the whip a little bit. The first two guys on, the double by Holdren, and now the hit batter to Wade, and you're working from the stretch, which is something, well, to be certain Mamiya's not used to doing this season with a whip of .64.
Now to bring up Leomar Gonzalez, 342 on the season. Batting center fielder. So 2 on, nobody out. Ground ball up the middle to shortstop to second for 1. They're going to say that's where he's. They get Wade there, Teagle to McClure.
Good call there. It was a transfer at second base, McClure, and had the ball in the glove. We got another look at it. Good call by the umpire right on top of the play. Makes the plays going for the transfer, and no muff there. Just a fielder's choice. So Holdren to third and Gonzalez safe at first.
I'll bring up Nick Williamson, the shortstop for Southridge. A cleanup hitter, .333 average. Still looking for his first home run of the season. Southridge tied for the MCC lead in home runs with 7.
Pretty good basketball player.
Yeah.
Of course, know his father well. Worked a few years with him, with the Americans, as the head coach, Mike Williamson.
Nick was just with us a couple Saturdays ago, playing in the SWX All-Star Classic.
You know, Mike, his last year's head coach was 2017-18. Michael Rasmussen was one of his players.
That was the double first-round pick year.
Yeah, Yusuf Alamaki.
Out at second, Leomar Gonzalez, and all of a sudden, what was 2 on, nobody away, is runner at third with 2 outs.
Perfect peg by Parker, and just the laying on of hands down at second base and gone.
Oh. So Mamiya, opportunity to get out of this. Senior lefty. Winds and deals. Ground ball to third, Dominic Shriver. Cross the field, and that'll be out 5-3. So no runs and a hit, 1 left on as the EKU Kennewick coming up next. You're watching high school baseball on SWX. Back here, Roy Johnson, another lefty on the mound. That's Nick Wade. He has a .54 ERA and a 1.00 WHIP. Not a lot of wins, though. Southridge comes into this one a bit of a skid. They've lost 5 of 6. Granted, the opponents they faced during that stretch have been Richland and Kennewick. In fact, they just lost to Kennewick 7-2 1 week ago. So it's a battle. This is the top part of the MCC for baseball is really, really good.
Well, and fundamentally good, too. They're teams that don't beat themselves. And that's where the teams that have troubles, they beat themselves and give you 5 outs or 6 outs in an inning, and hard to win games.
Catching is Ryan Wade, so it's Nick to Ryan. The battery for Southridge. Leading off with the Kennewick Lions, Trace Teagle.
Does somebody steal the potatoes at the plate if somebody gets shook off here?
That's a fantastic question.
I'm grabbing your steak here today. Don't you dare wave me off. 4
of the 9 are either Wades or Hunkapillars on Southridge.
Don't shake me off.
First pitch to Teagle, low and away, ball 1.
It's our version of All in the Family. Hey, Archie.
I called for a fastball. A little bit outside again. 2-0 now on Trace Teagle. Hit .343 on the season. 5 different Lions in the top 15 of batting average in the MCC. Big thanks to Tate Meyer over at Richland High School. Keeps all the stats, gets them all to us. Graciously agreed to send me the updated ones yesterday afternoon. Foul away, strike 2.
That might have been ball 3, but close enough that Teagle felt he had to protect the plate, so looks balanced now.
Teagle, pitcher and a shortstop. Shortstop today. Up and away, so full count.
Well, Wade has worked everything away on Teagle.
I was talking to Coach Lenny Ayers before the game, and I said, you guys don't have a single home run, not even an inside the park home run. He goes, that's not really our style. That's not what we're looking to do. Southridge has 7. That's tied for the lead in the MCC.
Really a great doubleheader last weekend that we had. And we had the back end of the doubleheader at Richland with Kennewick.
Swing and a miss.
I think it's ball 4.
And they're going to say no swing. So walk to Trace Teagle.
Good first at bat for Teagle. 7 pitch at bat.
Now to bring up Bradley Parker, the catcher. Both teams, by the way, also have catchers hitting second. The pitch from Wade. Breaking ball inside, 1-0.
Yeah, they're right at the age where they still run well. Give them 10 years. All that crouching, foul balls.
Up and away, ball 2.
Thing I always found is my hands always hurt.
Yes, especially on a night like this where it's...
They always hurt. Your hand from catching fastballs and your right hand from taking foul balls.
Away, ball 3. It is a coolish night. Certainly a spring night as the clouds are here. Wind has died for the most part. We had some sprinkles come through before the game, but they seem to have also disappeared.
Well, Evan and I, we had the tarp out at Hanford last week. We had the tarp out to start.
Yeah.
Not on the field, but on the broadcasting equipment.
Exactly. Ground ball to short. That'll get by Williamson into left center field. Teagle's going to hustle his way to third. The throw from Gonzalez is cut. The throw to second. And Parker is out. So Teagle will get to third after the single, and then Parker gets thrown out at second, trying to stretch it into a double.
Yeah, if you're Lenny Ayers, you don't mind that. It's early in the game. You're trying to be aggressive, and right there, Parker looking to be greedy, take that extra base. No big problems toward the gap and rolling, but a great throw from center field And Gonzalez pegs it.
That'll bring up Tom Driver, third baseman. One of the most, if not the most complete hitter on this Kennewick lineup. 6 doubles, 462 average.
Just all around good athlete.
Yeah, quarterback for the football team. Popped up right outside of first base in foul territory. Nice catch there by Holdren. Teagle going to try to score the throw off the mark. And that'll be a sac fly to the first baseman.
Yeah, the always exciting foul out sacrifice fly to first. You don't see that often there, Ma.
Nice hustle there, though. Trace Teagle, again, as Lenny talked about, they want to run. They want to execute cleanly, but they also want to push the issue.
You can watch the game a long time and not see a sacrifice fly down the first base line. That's short.
That foul, whoo, right past
that'll make Mattson a believer pretty quick.
No, and that's one where I'd imagine that if you're Tim Sanders, Southridge coaches, you're going to go talk to Trey and be like, hey, you immediately turn around and you're looking to throw as soon as you catch that. I think he just might have been a touch on the slow side as that breaking ball goes away.
Of course, the Fields High School, they're so close. They're not like big league parks where they're well laid out, a lot farther away, but you're right on top of the play.
Strike 2.
Dodger Stadium, this would be a $1,000 seat where we are. You get to eat and drink, though.
That's true.
Pretty good deal. Got a bottle of water for you here. You brought your own.
I did, yeah. And a swing and a miss from Mamiya, and that'll end the first, but not before they score a run on a hit. Nobody left. 1-0 Kennewick. We head to the top of the second. You're watching high school baseball on SWX.
Behind every mask.
Local family-owned Amco Tri-Cities knows you bought a 4x4 for adventure, not your driveway. Your drivetrain works harder in four-wheel drive. Don't wait for a breakdown on the trail. Schedule your checkup at Amco today. Both teams had a walk and a hit in that first inning. Kennewick, nope, able to get the run across. And it will be Jesus Luchuga, Coppin Hunkapiller, and Nick Wade for Southridge, seeing if they can try to answer here top of the second inning.
Mamiya's got a pretty good flow going there.
He does.
That hair.
Glorious. It is glorious.
I'm impressed.
Second baseman Luchuga.
Style is everything, Kevin.
Then I'm in a whole lot of trouble. First pitch to Luchuga. Right down Broadway, I think. Strike 1. Luchuga, the man at second, put the tag down. And he's going to foul that one off.
Well, the great thing about both of these pitchers, everything that they have moves naturally.
Yeah.
That's why I've always hated left-handers. You know, righties, we have to really work on getting movement on the ball, how you position your fingers. They just grab it and throw it. And, you know, you're 2 years old and you got a breaking ball.
Mamiya. That's up and away. 1-2 the count now.
But God evened it out for him. There's only a handful of positions they could play. They could play the outfield, they could pitch and play first. Can't play short, and you're not catching.
Yeah, it's been decades, I think, since you saw left-handed catcher in the majors. I think they're back in the 20s and 30s. There might have been. You'd occasionally see them, but it is not a very you don't see them anymore.
Growing up, my brother had a left-handed catcher's mitt, and it was like, did you get this at Smithsonian? Like, where did this come from?
Pop foul, and it'll get out of play over on the right side, in and behind the Southridge dugout.
Of course, my brother was ambidextrous, so. Although, what was the paper? The East Oregonian that had amphibious. They said amphibious pitcher. Well, that's interesting. Yeah. They could go underwater and throw, I guess.
Noah can match him on a rainy day. Ground ball to short, Teagle to first. That'll be out number 1.
That was one of the greatest ever. Yeah, an amphibious pitcher. You mean an ambidextrous pitcher? There's one hanging around now in the majors, isn't there?
Yeah, former Mariner prospect and now with the St. Louis Cardinals organization, Gerangelo Saintja. He's in, I think, Double-A right now for the Cardinals. Pitches with both arms. In fact, he was in Pasco last year as a member of the Everett Aqua Sox.
I remember that.
He did mostly pitch with his right hand. He pitched a little with his left. They were trying to see if they maybe wanted to make him a left-handed reliever on his off days, and strike 2 to Hunkapiller.
Yeah, it's all velocity now, which is, I think, is unfortunate.
Well, he had, 96, I think he was, right-handed, 92 left-handed.
Think of the pitchers we wouldn't see today if they had velocity.
Oh.
Warren Spahn you would not have seen.
I just saw on former Twitter, somebody had posted an old commercial, Mariners commercial with Jamie Moyer throwing a pitch.
He'd laugh at people. You can't hit that. He just pitch it to him.
He had 3 speeds, slow, slower, and slowest. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
And he really didn't make it till he was 32 and pitched till he was 48.
Yeah.
So give that some thought.
Bounced around. Cubs, I think, was like his biggest shot.
Yeah, Orioles. I mean, he was everywhere.
And then the Mariners picked him up and said, let's see if this works. Nick Wade, the pitcher.
His biggest claim to fame is the son-in-law of one of the greatest basketball coaches of our time.
Yep.
Digger Phelps. At least my time. I don't know about you.
He would have
been a little kid.
He was the end of his Notre Dame career was when I was starting to pay attention. 2-0 now on Wade.
I remember when he had black hair and then it turned white.
Nope, no, it's off the mark. Ball 3. No ABS challenges in high school baseball.
Thank goodness. They are great suspense. They need some suspenseful music, like Jeopardy. Wouldn't you think that'd be a great sponsor? They could fire up the Jeopardy theme every time that's
I don't think they
up.
want the 30-second Jeopardy song. They want it decided much quicker than that. I think the suspense is that everybody turns around and stares at the center field screen.
Yeah.
Because it's all displayed right there. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. 2-out knock for Nick Wade. Second hit.
Maybe a fanfare at work, something like that.
I do think it's kind of funny that they're making the umpires make those announcements every time.
Well, there's only 2, but where it really looks bad is when they're on their 8th challenge.
Yeah.
And you've missed 6.
Yeah.
Or 7. Then it really looks bad. But my problem is like if it's an inch off, like we're not machines.
No, and there's been a lot of conversation as to what constitutes a strike, and I think everybody is going to have to come to the agreement that any part of the strike zone it touches. As the ground ball, driver from third, throws it over. Taylor catches it, and that'll be the end of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. 1-0 Kennewick. To bottom of the second next. You're watching high school baseball on SWX. Bottom of the second, Kennewick leads 1-0. Brady Matson will lead things off. Chase Taylor behind him, and then Reese McClure. Matson, our player to watch. .516 average on the season. All he does is get on base. First pitch is low. Kennewick 8-1 on the regular season in the MCC. Their only loss, they split a doubleheader with Richland. That's the only loss for Richland as well. Pitch a strike.
Now, if that were ABS, I don't think that would be if we had that, but I'm fine with that. As long as your strike zone stays the same, everybody can adjust to it.
Fouled off.
That's what good hitters do. Just be consistent. That's all anybody asks.
If it's a strike in the first, it's a strike in the fourth, it's a strike in the seventh.
Yeah, don't change it in the 8th and 9th when it starts getting tight. And that's what the good umps do. And I know I never change. This is what it's going to be, and take it or leave it.
Outside ball 2. 2-2 now.
Didn't have the one day I got to do a minor league game. They forgot to get umpires.
Oh, no.
They were playing the College of the Desert.
Live all right, center field. Hong working his way that way. He'll be out there to make the catch. One away.
Yeah, that was in Palm Springs, the Angels' long A team in the Cal League. And one of the batters that was in the plate was in the lineup, Tim Salmon.
Oh.
I did not strike him out, but told the catchers, I said, you move the mitt, you're telling me it's a ball. You're going to call the game. And they froze their mitts, and the catchers called the game. No complaints.
Ball 1 to Chase Taylor. Kennewick leads the MCC by a fair margin. .364 team batting average.
Yeah, after that game, I had Billy Bavasi was in the Angels front office. He came up to me. Doug Rader was the manager. That was when they had their spring training there, and he did a great job.
Slow roller out to third. Hunk Pillar have to hustle and safe at first is Chase Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor, good speed there and pounded right into the slow turf here. Don't think there was a lot of rain or anything, but not a real quick infield here. And right there, that ball just died in the infield. When you have the speed that Kennewick does, this is a perfect kind of field for him.
Yeah.
You can just pound it and use the speed.
I'm going to bring up second baseman Reese McClure.
You'll note Hunter Pillar at third and guarding the line as well, respecting that speed.
1-0 the count now to McClure. You're going to toss over to first.
It's not the grade A move, just the calling card, just letting you know I was in the office.
Wonder how many kids, especially left-handers these days, watch Andy Pettit.
And they'd probably go, who?
And that'd probably be that who, where they would say, but my goodness, you want to talk about just an absolute killer move to first base for a left-handed pitcher.
He had a good balk move, yeah. It's right on the borderline.
It really was. 3-0 now to Reese McClure. Gonna be very precise if you were Andy Pettit where you landed that right foot. And I think at some point he probably got away with one or two. Or 100.
Probably a few more.
There's the strike to McClure.
I think good base stealers will tell you, too, the left-hander is the easiest to read. And there's a reason why, because the last place they're going to look when they're going to throw to the plate, they're going to look to the plate and throw to you.
Taylor was running, but it's fouled away behind home plate, and we got a full count.
And he was looking at the plate. But usually that's what they do, and they hold, and they're looking at the plate, and they think they fool you, and they throw over.
3-2 coming to Reese Minogue. They're going to step off.
Good move by Wade there, just to step off, keep him honest.
Wait. 3-2. Up high. Ball 4. 1 out, but 2 on now for Kennewick. Second walk of the game. We'll bring up Sebastian Iniguez, designated hitter.
And again, the designated hitter, number 11, Sebastian Iniguez.
First and second, but 1 out. High school, they love to bunt in these situations, even with the 1 out. We'll see what Iniguez is here to do. Next at strike 1. Number 9 hitter Gavin Kelly on deck for the Lions. The 0-1, there's the bunt. He flashes it, but pulls the bat back, 1-1.
Said to the woman at the door that was charging for tickets, I said, you can always tell the people that don't have to pay the insurance to park right next to the door. And I showed her your car from KNDU. Showed the car. Look at this.
Yeah, no.
I'd park it 3 blocks away.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's totally fair. In
Yeah,
fact,
it's not my windshield.
There's a big old sign that says, hey, flying baseballs. Hopped up. That's an infield fly. Hunkapiller will make the catch. That'll be out number 2. So the out recorded regardless of what happened, but Hunkapiller just making doubly sure.
Had one of those the other night. That second game of the doubleheader at Richland, where they just let the ball drop.
There is a strategy. Force the runners to know the situation, know the circumstances.
And they stayed right on the base.
Ground ball, foul.
You advance at your own risk is what the rule book says.
Yep. Infield fly. First and second if our bases loaded with 1 or 0 outs. And the infield any pop up on the infield, an automatic out. Runners can advance at their own risk. Doesn't get the call there. Ball 1. That was Nick Wade. Get out a little bit of trouble here in the second. A little something off that one, but missed the zone. 2-1 now. Leadoff hitter Trace Teagle on deck. Runner goes from second, popped up, shallow right field, second base Lechuga will back up in front of Hong and make the catch, and that'll be the end of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left on. 2-1 nothing Kennewick. You're watching high school baseball on SWX.
Consultation.
1-0 Kennewick here as we head to the top of the third. Southridge will send up the 9-hitter, Rylan Hunkapiller. And back to the top of the lineup, Trey Holder and Ryan Wade after that. Rylan of the clan, Hunkapiller, the left fielder for Southridge. Left-handed bat against Dylan Mamiya. Ground ball out to second. McClure is there. Kind of eats him up a little bit, but he's able to get the baseball back under control. I'll get to the right sport at some point. Get the baseball back under control and throw it to first.
Kind of a nasty hop there. But at the same time, it's his home field, so he knows where he can get those hops and deep enough and stay with it and make the play.
I'll bring up Trey Holdren, 1-for-1 of the double in that first inning off a breaking ball. But he was stranded at third. He launches ball one. Wind, which was blowing pretty good when I got here, and just slowly and steadily got calmer and calmer to where it's not much of anything there. As Holdren will foul that one away.
We know Mike Williamson's watching.
Yeah, hi to Mike.
Got a text.
One. Foul though. One and two the count on Holdren. Top three. Kennewick leads. Fouled off. Umpire looking for the foul balls. So gets those. You haven't been out to Roy Johnson yet. They last year unveiled a brand new scoreboard that is just beautiful. It is big, easily readable.
Still a bit old school.
It's still a little bit old school, but it looks good. I know they had the power pole or the light pole situation 2-3 years ago. Had to get that resolved, and this is a real nice place. And you'll see some state playoffs come through here. And over at Bomber Field at Richland, as Mamiya has that one get loose on him. We've got a full count for Holdren.
Really, as far as a fan, you run on top of the field. There's not a lot of foul territory. Whereas Hanford, I almost feel like you could probably land a Cessna down the left and right field line. There's plenty of room, it looks like.
Mamiya, the 3-2 pitch. Foul.
Ooh.
And that's why we have the net on front of the dugout.
We didn't used to.
But it got the Southridge Suns dancing.
Yeah, what was it last year in the Major Leagues? Hunter Biggie was out with an injury sitting in the Tampa Bay Rays dugout and got hit at 108 miles an hour with a line drive in the face. He's back pitching this year.
Swing and a strike three. Mamiya wins the battle on the full count strikeout. That'll bring up Brian Wade. He was hit by a pitch in the first.
Number 10.
Run out at second on a fielder's choice. It's a 2 away here for Southridge. They trail 1-0. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Kennewick Lions got all the way to the state title game last year. Had the opportunity to talk to them earlier this year, and they feel like that experience was helpful. They didn't care for losing, especially having a lead and then losing. But they believe it helped them grow, and right now they've got a star-packed lineup. One from Mamiya. Line drive, right out the Teagle at short. The one hop, throw to first. And that'll end the inning. 1, 2, 3 here in the third. We head to the bottom of the third. It's Kennewick 1, Southridge nothing. You're watching high school baseball on SWX.
Safely.
Bottom of the third, top of the order for the Kennewick Lions. Trace Teagle, Bradley Parker, and Dom Driver. Ryan Wade had to get the tools of ignorance back on, and now that he's done that, he's going to get us going here with his toss to second.
Those were the infamous words of Clint Courtney. He gave that the tools of ignorance.
I just remember when I was a kid, I was so in love with baseball that my parents got me a book of baseball terms. That's where you learned, like, I learned about can of corn, what a can of corn was. But, yeah, they labeled the catcher's gear tools of ignorance, and I thought that was hysterical.
Clint was a former catcher and also a major league manager.
Ground ball, foul.
One of those old school guys. We miss the Rocky Bridges of the world.
Teagle walked and scored in the first.
You know the old deal where in Major League where they clap their hands, cross their legs, they cross them back the other way?
Oh, yeah.
His teams were infamous for that when he managed in Phoenix in the AAA. The Giants had their AAA team there back before they got to the majors in '98.
Wade only giving up one run, but still seems to be a little bit more of a high volume pitcher right now as he's thrown 43 pitches. As we just start the third, and he's not exactly fighting the zone all the time. Teagle obviously going to be very patient. Thought he was going to try to get one to hit there.
Of course, you look at great manager tirades. Maybe the best ever was Lee Elia. He was immediately fired the next day. Talking about 85% of the people in Chicago work, the other 15% come to Cub games.
And there's a strike three looking. Second K here for Nick Wade.
Yeah, that didn't work well with Cub fans.
I always appreciated Tommy Lasorda's, was it Tommy Lasorda? What did you think of the execution of your offense? And he said, I'm in favor of it.
No, that was John McKay.
That's right, yeah.
John McKay with the Tampa Bay Bucks. And they lost their first 26, the former USC junior brain surgeon football coach, and went there. And that was his comment. What do you think of the execution? No, I'm all for it. And
fly ball right field. That's going to drop in. Heading into second, Bradley Parker. The throw. He gets in there. The umpire calls sign. The home plate umpire rushed out to second base. He's the one that makes the call about save. Tim Sanders is going to come out and have a conversation. But it goes in the book as a double.
That was some great work, too, the home plate umpire, and that's his call because the base umpire had to go out, track the ball down the line, and great hustle to get down on top of it. It's a close play, and the wave, you're safe.
Yeah. Disbelief from the Southridge Suns, but still one out. Now to bring up Dominic Driver. Hit the pop sacrifice fly in the first. Still the only run in this contest.
And you can't complain about the hustle there as both umpires did their job. Excellent job getting out from behind the plate and making that call. Good mechanics.
Pitch, fly ball, center field. Drifting back is Gonzalez. He'll make the catch, tagging at second as Leomar will throw it, but not in time. So Bradley Parker gets this third on another sacrifice fly from Dom Driver. But 2 away now, and Dylan Mia struck out in the first up to the bat.
Yeah, good tag play there by Parker to take that extra base. Allows you to read the outfielder's arms.
Well, and Dom got enough of it. That it was pretty deep there in center field, even without any help from the wind, which has mostly gone away. And there you see Parker over at third. Not every time you get to see the catcher stay in and run, and Parker gets that opportunity. On deck, Brady Matson. 2-0 from Wade. Ground ball. They're going to say foul off of Mamiya. Off of his leg.
He caught him right in the foot.
So Tim Sanders again out to have a conversation with the home plate umpire. And he'd call a timeout right away, called foul right away.
Well, there was no hesitation, that's all I can say. They'll have a chat.
I mean, I don't know what you do about it now. You can't rerun the play. But Nick Wade's going to throw over to first just in case.
Yeah, what can you say once you've said foul ball? It's foul ball.
Yeah.
There's a reason they don't say fair. And
yeah, it was in the area of his right foot.
that might have caught his pants or something. I'm not sure it hit his foot, but we'll march on.
Either way, 2-1 the count now on Dylan Mamiya. Gotta bear down if you're Nick Wade. Pitch, line drive, base hit, left field. Now score a run, so Kennewick makes him pay.
So that's a big call. And Mamiya helps himself with an RBI single the opposite way.
Southridge fans, Southridge bench.
And there's still a discussion going on, and Tim still doing some chatting.
The other umpire had to come over and calm the Southridge bench down. They feel there's a couple of things that have happened this inning that they disagree with.
And they call it second base, and eventually he comes in to score.
Home plate umpire making a note in his book. I don't know if that means they're going to play the game under protest.
It's not a situation where you can. It's not a rule of interpretation. It's a judgment call.
We got Brady Matson. He's flown out to right, his only at bat so far. And they've got Mamiya nailed at second base here on that one. And that will end the third, but not before Kennewick gets a run. They get a run on a hit, on a couple of hits. It's 2-0 Lions. You're watching high school baseball on SWX.
It just a bit earlier.
Krigler Insurance Agency is proud to be a part of high school sports on SWX. With decades of experience and personalized service, the only locally owned insurance brokerage in Richland located in the Uptown Shopping Center. For home, auto, RVs, boats, and ATVs, isn't it time you were with CIA? Krigler Insurance Agency, that's 509-946-4653. 2-0. Southridge now trails 2. Lemar Gonzalez, Nick Williamson, Jesus Luchuga. Up, they got to figure out some way to get some offense. Let go of the frustrations of the bottom of the third and find their stroke for this one. Gonzalez was aboard on a fielder's choice in the first and then caught stealing as that inning started with so much promise and then unraveled. Foul ball.
Yeah, you and I were talking off the air, and there's, you know, for people that may not know, and most people do, I think, if you're around the game, but there is a reason an umpire yells foul ball, and they don't say fair. Both start with an F, and they sound enough alike. So on a fair ball, you just point emphatically, it's a fair ball.
Gonzalez gonna bunt. Mamiya having to field his position, turns, fires it to first. And the 1-3 put out, 1 away. That's 5 in a row now for Dylan Mamiya. Bring up Williamson. He grounded out to third in that first inning.
Shortstop, number 13, Nick Williamson.
One away here in the fourth. High ball 1. Southridge, just 2 hits so far. Ground ball, right past Dom Driver into left field for a generous base hit or an error, depending on how harsh you want to be on the third baseman.
Yeah, I think that's got to be a hit, and they do credit it a hit, whether it is at Kennewick or not. But Nick pounded that ball wide at third, and Driver, I don't think if he had a goalie glove, I'm not sure he would have come up with that. The mitt's not going to be enough.
That'll bring up Jesus Luchuga. Grounded out to short, start the second inning, his only at bat.
Of course, everything is bat speed now. We don't get the bat speed here, but I'm sure that was in excess of 100 off an aluminum bat.
Yeah, an absolute rocket.
And there's a reason they call third base the hot corner. And it comes to you hot.
That was another one in the book of my childhood, the hot corner. One on, one out here in the fourth for Southridge. 1-0 pitch. Luchuga swing and a miss.
Did they have the worm burner in there?
I don't remember.
Little grounder?
Yeah, the hot shot grounder that's just killing worms as it goes along. That's a lot of my golf shots in my childhood. I killed a lot of worms, I think, in my golf game when I was a kid.
Well, I did that as an adult, but I usually called them a toupee. By the time you always replace your divot, and I'd always carry the grass seed with me.
Bradley Parker.
The only way to play.
Bradley Parker, a little shaken up on that one, but he's a catcher. They're tough.
Blue there, giving a little extra time. He knows the feeling.
On the count. Williamson over at first. Pitch. Ground ball. To Teagle at short. They'll get it out at first. Safe. Or get the out at second. Safe at first on the fielder's choice.
Nearly turned it. Luchuga just did beat that. It's going to be a 1-6 put out at second base with Mia getting a part of that ball.
Yeah.
Number 12, Coppin Hunkapiller.
I'll bring up Coppin Hunkapiller. Struck out in the second. Now has 2 outs. Luchuga on first. Swinging in the foul tip behind home plate. Hunkapiller, the Southridge quarterback this year, who had, I mean, without going through the numbers, but probably the best season any quarterback has ever had in the Matt Johnson era over at Southridge. Ground ball, bounces up to Teagle. Throw it to second, Teagle the easy way. That'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. 2-0. We head to the bottom of the fourth. You're watching high school baseball on SWX.
Fun.
Bottom four, it's 2-0 Kennewick. Brady Matson, Chase Taylor, and Reese McClure will take their swings in the minimum. People dressed warmly today, though I think they were dressed for wind, which has mostly died down. But even then, we're supposed to see some rain coming into the area overnight tonight.
So much for those shorts we were wearing last week.
I did, because last week Jeff Morrow came in shorts, because that's Jeff Morrow. He always comes in shorts. And we had a possibility of getting out of there, and he was shivering how cold he was. He was begging for no extra innings since that first pitch is a strike.
Was it a weekend ago? I was in Vegas and shorts every day, sandals. Come back and I get off the plane, shorts, sandals. It's a little cooler here.
My brother sent me a picture from Georgia, and they've got the pool open because I think it's in the low 80s or something. Just south of Atlanta.
Yeah, it was a fun trip. Went down, played in a draft hockey tournament.
Yeah, softball.
Set a record for being the oldest guy to play. We're the runner-up. Lost out to a very good team. Kid that was in the OHL playing against us.
Foul away.
Pretty good test for an old man.
What was
your
goals against the tournament?
It was about 4.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I would imagine rec hockey, it's a little easier to score.
Well, I don't know. You've got some really good players that are in there, and then you've got some that are beginners. It's a draft tournament. The goalies pick the teams. There might have been beer drinking involved on who goes at what rounds, and pick some very interesting players. A couple of good friends. One from 2 guys that I played with in Spokane. We won titles with 3 years in a row. So I felt real good about my key guys, and then on the ring around, the number 7, was able to pick a really, really good player from Wyoming.
Okay.
It was an interesting group.
There was a softball that worked its way over onto our field from one of the K fields.
Oops.
The JV game, I think, is that one that's over on that field.
Might have been a throw.
1-2. Strike 3. Second strikeout looking for Nick Wade. Third in the game.
And the backward K. And that one, fastball with a tail on it. Was able to fishtail away from Matson.
Brings up Chase Taylor. Singled in the second inning. So 1 for 1. That one fouled off.
Same kind of pitch, but coming around the knees.
So our final high school baseball game for 2026. That fly ball to right field. Hong is there. Makes the grab. 2 away. We have soccer. We wrap up our soccer season next week. Chiawana and Pasco will Classico de Tri-Cities, as it's called. Got a couple more softball games as well, and we're working on a few other things as we count down to Richland Regatta at the end of June. Water Follies end of July.
Looking forward to that. I will wear shorts for that.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Unless it's like this.
Probably not at the end of June.
I'll put a rider on it.
Reese McClure. Strike.
That is a perfect pitch.
He walked in the second, so no official at-bats. Wade settled in this inning. Looks like he's a little sharper here.
Trying to come in with that backdoor curveball.
Foul off, 2-2.
Just kind of showed him the curveball away and then comes back with what's been the bread and butter, the fastball down around the knees.
Deuce is wild here in the fourth. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the pitch, up and away. Both these teams, the head coaches, will be the third base coaches as well. There's another walk for Reese McClure. Most high schools, you'll see that. Not every, but most. You know, Grant Richardson over at Richland tends to want to meander in front of the dugout. As Sebastian Iniguez will step up to the dish. I think we're going to get a pitching change. 68 pitches for Nick Wade. Some changes. I believe Ryan Wade's going to come in and pitch. If I can find his numbers from the mound. So not a bad outing for Nick Wade. Had a little difficulty, I think, locating his pitches, but he's able to mostly get out of trouble.
He hit the pitch count.
So Braden Sullivan will come in and catch. Ryan Wade go out and pitch.
That's one of the nice things about the scoreboard here is it does give you the pitch count.
Yep.
And we can easily look up there and see it was 68.
That was actually Coppin Hunkapiller. Sorry, Coppin Hunkapiller's coming in to pitch. Ryan Wade is going to go out field.
So in case you think Kevin has a computer mind and is
no,
able to keep
he
that.
No, he really doesn't. It should be known far and wide.
Yeah, that's the luxuries. That's like a major league park where they give you that.
Yeah.
And you're able to look in, or on TV where they put up the pitch count.
So Coppin Hunkapiller comes in, 3.68 ERA, 15 2/3 innings, 19 strikeouts, 11 walks, 16 hits. So he's had a problem keeping base runners off, but at least he's got an opportunity here to come in with 2 outs, see if he can manage the number 8 hitter for Kennewick, and then he'll have the number 9 hitter before he hits the top of the order.
A little bit different than being a quarterback. Nobody's coming at you and you have to plant and throw. This is just one step.
So Ryan Wade will step out at third. So he moves from catcher to third. Braden Stevens coming behind the dish. Sebastian Iniguez steps to the dish. Iniguez popped out to third, his only at bat. Toss to first. Safe over there. If nothing else, you've gone from left-handed to right-handed. It's a little bit of a different look. Hunkapiller going to field his position, throw to first. Nice pick. And the nice play over there at first by Trey Holdren. That'll be out number 3. No runs, no hits, 1 left on. Get to the top of the 5th. 2-0 Kennewick You're watching high school baseball on SWX. Southridge, top of the fifth, will send up Nick Wade, Braden Sullivan, and then it'll be number 9 hitter Rylan Hunkapiller. Bryce, what did I? Oh, because I see what I did there.
Number 8, Nick Wade.
First pitch, Nick Wade's a strike. Just 50 pitches for Dylan Mamiya as we hit the fifth. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Going at about 12 pitches an inning, not bad for the first 4.
Breaking ball again from Mamiya. This one misses though. Sullivan on deck. Hunkapiller in the hole. 2-0 Kennewick here atop the fifth. And to get that inside breaking ball just off the plate, according to the man in black. 2-2 the count now. Wade, another single. Base hit left field. Nick Wade 2 for 2 today. But this time it's a leadoff single. And that'll bring up Braden Sullivan.
Holdren with 2 of the 4 hits. The double in the first inning and now base hit in the 5th. Trying to get something going.
And Jackson Perkins will come in and run for Nick Wade. Looking over at Coach Lenny Ayers of Kennewick, I think he was wondering where that breaking ball was.
I meant to say Wade with the base hit. Not sure why I said Holdren. I'm still thinking about him with his play at first base. Really nice play at first, by the way, in the dig. That was not an easy play for Hunkapiller either at the end of the 4th inning. Coming up on that third base line and came up short. Nice dig.
Sullivan shows bunt, pulls it back. They're going to try to back pick. They don't get that one. Chasing back, Jackson Perkins. 0-1 the count. Sullivan again showing bunt. This time pulls it back and swing, foul tip. 0-2.
Yeah, tough pitch to lay off right there. And it just twists in on your hands and nowhere to go with it.
Mamiya, the 0-2 pitch. Outside corner, strike 3. Third strikeout for Dylan Mamiya. First looking, that'll bring up Rylan Hunkapiller. He grounded out in the 3rd. Southridge looking for a couple of key base hits. Well, really, they take one to get Trey Holdren up there. Get him with maybe a runner in scoring position. And that one will hit.
Yeah, that's where you volunteer to take that one.
Second hit by pitch today for Dylan Mamiya. That'll bring up top of the order. Trey Holdren doubled in the first, struck out in the third.
Trey Holdren.
But if you're Southridge and Tim Sanders, this is the man you want up in this scenario. Top of the order. Best hitter. Mamiya delivers. Breaking ball in for a strike. Base hit scores a run. Base hit, at least base hit to the outfield scores a run. Perkins gonna run, and he's gonna steal third. That was sack flying, scores a run. Pitch was a ball, 1-1 the count.
I like that aggressiveness, getting the man in motion. You're down 2-0. You're down to a 9-out game, actually 8 now, and try and get something going.
Ryland Hunkapiller stayed at first, so it was not a double steal. Still opportunity for a double play to get out of the inning if you're Kennewick. Pitch to Holdren. Fly ball down the left field line. That will be foul, just foul.
When it left the bat, looked like it was going to drop in fair, and then it had this little twist. And foul by a couple of feet down that left field line. But when it left the bat, looked like it was going to stay fair.
Just that fade. The old slice of the ball.
Yep. Just hit right off the end of the bat.
So 1-2 the count now on Trey Holdren. Big spot here for both sides. Pitch, ground ball to first. Throw to second, out, throw back to first. Not in time. Run will score. So Holdren gets the fielder's choice. Nick Wade will score. Ryland Hunkapiller is thrown out. So 2 away, but Southridge on the board now makes it 2-1.
Ryan Wade.
And Ryan Wade now playing third. The 0 for 1 was hit by a pitch in the first, grounded out in the third. Sees a strike.
Great pitch by Mamiya. That one looked like it was going to be outside, and then it just comes right back in over the heart.
Pitch, ground ball, right to Dom Driver over at third. The throw to first. In time, that'll end the inning, but Southridge gets on the board. Run on a hit. 1 left. 2-1 Kennewick. You're watching high school baseball on SWX.
SWX.
Bottom of the 5th, popcorn smell is starting to reach our noses over here.
That was well timed. I was going to say it. You don't think we could weasel a bag somewhere over here? Be a little tacky on the air, wouldn't it? Not like eating crickets at the Mariner game.
No,
they get rid of those things yet?
I think they're still there. But now they've got the ferry boat that everybody's excited about. Gavin Kelly leads things off, 0 for 1. Popped down to second in the second inning.
Has the scribe tried those yet? Morrow?
I have not asked him. I tried them, but I tried them the day after. Because I met with somebody for lunch who went to a game, and I was like, I might as well try one. I know it's not the same thing. It's cold, but it was an intriguing flavor. Ball 2.
Every year they always come up with new things. All the teams have interesting plans on what they do with food. So they can charge more, of course, but they get some really interesting. What was the one I saw that had bacon with chocolate? They had going somewhere. I think it was in Texas.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Sounds like that's a Texas thing.
I know they've got
bacon and chocolate.
The hat. What is it? The hat with the nachos. The rally hat.
Yeah.
Nachos hat. Big run from Hunkapiller to Gavin Kelly. Line drive out to short. Collected there. Throw to first. Out number 1. Nice play by Nick Williamson. Top of the order now for Kennewick. Trace Teagle. He walked and scored in the first. Struck out in the third.
The shortstop, Trace Teagle.
Yeah, Williamson, an interesting story. Hadn't played baseball for 4 years. Just walked away from it. Came on, walked on, makes it as a senior.
Yeah, starting shortstop. That's
pretty impressive. You wish he'd had the other 3 years.
I know Tim Sanders wishes he had the other 3 years. There's Nick, a great basketball player. Played in our SWX All-Star Classic a couple weekends back, along with teammates Coven Burke and Jose T. Arena. Fly ball, left center field, Gonzalez and Wade. Not able to collect at the dive. That'll be a base knock. One out, one on. Nice effort out of there, actually. Rylan Hunkapiller. Bringing Bradley Parker. Singled in the first, doubled, and scored in the third. Right now, he's the winning run. He scored the winning run in this contest. That one popped up. That's coming out behind just a little to our right. That'll bounce and fall. Strike 1.
Fortunately, missed the ladies over to our right. Missed your car, too.
It not my car. My car is safely far away. I lost it in the gray sky initially. I was able to eventually pick it up, but toss to first. Teagle back. 1-1 the count now to Bradley Parker. Dog driver on deck. Home plate umpire looked off to the right like you would if you were going to call a strike, but held the right arm at his side, so it's 1-1 the count.
I think we would kindly say he tracked the ball. Tracked it over there. So we all waited. Okay, what's it going to be?
Well, foul down the third base line.
Yeah, he's done a great job. Been very consistent. You know what a strike's going to be. Guy takes a pitch for strike 3. He knows it's a strike. You don't see him turn around barking. And just walk away.
1-2 the count now on Bradley Parker. Southridge would love a double play here. Get back to bat, see if they can add on to their 1 run they got last inning. Muck middle. That's going to drop in front of Gonzalez for a base hit. Teagle will stop at second. First and second now for the Lions. 1 out.
Lions looking to reply after giving up that run in the top half. And now trying to make something happen against Hunkapiller.
The third baseman,
Dom Driver has hit 2 sacrifice flies. 1 to the actual outfield to Leomar Gonzalez in center, and 1 to the first baseman. ended up being a run scoring sacrifice fly. So he has no official at bats. Hunkapiller looks in. Two quarterbacks. Southridge quarterback, pitch into the Kennewick quarterback. Runner's going on a low throw that it's going to go. Teagle will scoot his way into third and then eventually round his way back home.
That'll be a stolen base and an E2. Produce that third run. Parker with a bag 2 down to second.
So make it 3-1 as Kennewick gets the run back. And now the heart of the order for the Lions as Driver drives it right field. Hong fading back, makes the catch. Parker is going to tag and make his way to third. And Dom Driver has his third sacrifice fly of the game. 2 outs for Dylan Mamiya.
The pitcher, Dylan Mamiya.
Mamiya has struck out and also singled and knocked in a run in the third. Two outs here. Ground ball. Williamson up, throws to first. Mamiya going to beat that out, and a runner will score on the infield single. So Mamiya helping his cause with a couple of RBIs. A good hustle. Nick Williamson went to the turf to grab it. Came up firing, but not able to get the runner, Dylan Mamiya.
Yeah, really outstanding range there. Williamson to his left makes that backhand in the hole deep. Being that deep, he still made a pretty strong throw. Good strong arm and one hop.
Yeah, pretty quick though, Mamiya, that is. I'll bring up Brady Matson. He's 0 for 2, flown out, struck out as well.
Bit advantage too, coming from that side. Coming from that
yeah, the
right side of
hitter,
the plate. Yeah. Being the left-hander.
It was always an advantage, but I don't know that anybody took more advantage of it than Ichiro did. He would just feel like almost be halfway down the first base line by the time the ball hit the ground. Hunkapiller nearly picks off of me that time. Going on the count to Madsen. 4-1 Kennewick with the lead. They have not lost to Southridge in 5 years. As the Mamiya will take advantage of the bounced pitch. Work his way to second. So Kennewick not only responds with the one that they gave up in the top of the 5th, but tacks on another, and it's now a 3-run lead. Two away here, bottom of the 5th. Cap and Hunkapiller trying to keep it right here. Kennewick would love another base knock. Another low pitch. Mamiya running the third. Tag is late. Mamiya aggressive on the base paths. I'll have a runner at third now. 2-1. Pitch. Strike 2. Just one pinch for Hunkapiller gets him out of this. Kennewick, though, really, really good. Team that's going to be battling deep into May for a state playoff run. Of course, the state playoffs. Last year they had to essentially call off the third place game. Kennewick just played for a state championship against Mount Vernon. Took time in the last 4 years Kennewick's played for a state title. Walk to Matson. Even 02 they played, that game was at Giesa Stadium. They played for a state title. Unfortunately lost that one as well. As Tim Sanders going to call it, come out. Talk to his whole infield. As Chase Taylor comes up. He's singled, flown out. But runners at first and third. Kennewick might try to steal a run out of this. This is where you often see the double steal look.
The first baseman, Chase Taylor.
So Matson over at first. As Sullivan will make the call behind home plate. What they'll do in the, I'd imagine, likely event that Brady Matson takes off. Doesn't that time. Pitch low, ball one.
Kind of spiked that one down in the dirt. Nice save back behind the plate.
One out of the count now. Pitch. Fly ball left field. And that's going to chase Hunkapiller back, and it's going to get over his head and off the wall for a ground rule double. That actually saves Southridge a run. And so Mamiya comes in to score. Matson stops at third with a ground rule double. Chase Taylor cruises into second. So Kennewick starting to add on here in the fifth. Bring up Reese McClure's 8th batter of the inning for the Lions. Southridge had scored in the top of the 5th to make it a 1-run game, but Kennewick answers back in the most Kennewick way they can, just put together hits. McClure has walked twice.
Of course, it was the running game that kind of spiked this inning.
Yeah.
Certainly spurred it on.
Forced the other team to make plays. Another low pitch. That one gets past Sullivan, and wild pitch will score a run as Brady Matson comes in. Chase Taylor heads over to third. It's 1-1 on Reese McClure. That ball might not have gotten 50 feet. It was that far out in front of home plate.
Really a good read, too, for Matson to come trotting in.
Another pitch low, ball 2. Four hits in the inning here for Kennewick. 4 hits and 4 runs. Low, ball 3. If McClure gets aboard with anything, right now his leading chance seems to be a 3rd walk. Sebastian Iniguez would be the 9th hitter of the inning. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch there by Hunkapiller. Hunkapiller looks in. 3-2 to McClure. Popped up. Shallow right center field. Gonzalez will work his way over and make the catch. The inning finally comes to a close. Not before Kennewick scores 4 on 4 hits. 6-1 our score. We head to the top of the 6th. You're watching high school baseball on SWX.
consultation.
Top of the sixth now. Kennewick leads 6-1. Coming up for the Southridge Suns, Leomar Gonzalez, Nick Williamson, and Jesus Lechuga. New pitcher on the mound for the Lions, Trace Teagle. Taking over for Dylan Mamiya.
64 pitches in all for Mamiya. Very efficient night. So kept it around 12 pitches an inning. Calls it an afternoon and early evening.
Teagle has the most innings pitched coming into today in the MCC. 32 strikeouts, 3 wins. Right now, he'd just be happy to hold Southridge off the board. Mamiya goes 5, gives up 4 hits, 1 run, it's earned, 3 strikeouts, no walks.
Well, the best way to look at it, Kevin, is down to a 6-out game.
Yep.
Keep it simple to understand. One step at a time and get that out, earn it, move on to the next. If you're Southridge, you're looking at keeping the line moving, get somebody on, get another one on, and that's pretty much what Kennewick did for that 4-run inning in the bottom of the 5th.
Gonzalez 0 for 2. Fielder's choice and a ground out. 3, 4, and 5 for Southridge. That one popped way up into left field, shallow left. In, making the catch, Colin Puckett. And that's 1 away. So now Nick Williamson up. He's grounded out and singled.
The shortstop, Nick Williamson.
Siegel will throw one high. Siegel joined Kennewick last year as a junior. Key part of that team that got all the way to the state title game. Now enjoying his senior season here. Tons of experience in the state playoffs for Trace. Part of that Riverview team a couple years back that did so well. Williamson fouls that off. 1-2 the count. One, 2. Line drive up center field. Mamiya gonna have to let it drop in front of him, so Williamson has the second base hit of the game.
It's going to be interesting to see what he does college-wise. You know, we know what he can do with basketball, and then after 4 years going back to baseball and becoming a factor,
Jesus Lechuga.
it could get very interesting for Nick.
Brings up Jesus Lechuga. He's 0 for 2. Grounded out and was aboard on a fielder's choice before he was erased on a fielder's choice. Line drive, right center field. That's into no man's land. Is going to hit. Roll all the way to the warning track as Williamson is being waved home for third. And he's going to score Jesus Lechuga an RBI double. So.
Yeah, Lechuga taking that to right center field. Didn't try and yank it. Kept it right, barreled up, took it out toward the Kennewick baseball in the right center field area.
Now to bring up pitcher Coppin Hunkapiller. Now love to help himself a little bit. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Yeah, took something off that pitch, just fell off the table. And Hunkapiller way out in front of the pitch.
On deck, Nick Wade, who's singled twice. Now Hunkapiller going to bunt over to first base side. Nice play by Teagle. Now get out there. Does send Lechuga over to third. So it is a sacrifice bunt.
Not sure that was really the intent in that situation, down by 4. And with the situation it was, I think it was more or less he was trying to take it, make sure you keep it away from the pitcher and bunt it up the first base line.
Bring up Nick Wade. See the strike. 2 for 2. singled and scored in the last inning. Inside. Southridge needs a big clutch hit here. Score that runner from third. 1-1, fouled off right at the camera.
That's how you get new equipment.
Now you understand why I parked the car where I parked it. 1-2 the count on Nick Wade. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. 6-2 Kennewick. Teagle's pitch. Ground ball right back to Teagle. Fields his position well. That'll end the inning, but they get a run. 6-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. You're watching high school baseball on SWX. Your local family-owned AMCO supports student athletes. AMCO here to help. Don't forget free AC checks at your local family-owned AMCO. Lemar Gonzalez steps onto the mound. He'll take the bottom of the 6th for Southridge. Speaking of the Suns, great to see that Maxton. I always called him Max, but every reference to him I see is Maxton, but I'll call him Max. Max Martin worked his way into the Rangers' top 30 prospects.
Wasn't that cool reading that the other day? That was awesome. Found out on LinkedIn, and Dad good enough to put that up and share that and making great progress.
Yeah, he's one of the prettiest swings I'd ever seen as a high school player. As Colin Puckett will come up.
Yeah, we're not surprised.
Yeah,
what Max is doing.
So they're going to pinch hit for Sebastian Iniguez. It'll be Colin Puckett.
Had good form too, fielding.
Yeah.
I mean, did a lot of things extremely well, and see him advancing in the Ranger organization is exciting.
His brother Mason playing down in Mexico. Came and played for the Dust Devils last year for about 6 weeks. Speaking of the Dust Devils, Tri-Cities kid in town this week with the Hillsboro Hops. Logan Mercado, who played for Tri-Cities Prep. Then went to play University of Oregon for 4 seasons. And
Over to see Jason Jarrett today, and he was getting a bunch of tickets. Going to talk to Darrell Ebert about taking some of the kids over to watch him play.
I had talked to Jason about that, and that was his plan, was to try to get the kids over there, and I know Logan was excited.
Yeah, they've got a game today. They're playing a game right now. So it wasn't going to be today.
No, I think they were going to try to get out at some point, as this Colin Puckett substitution has caused a small bit of chaos in the books.
Where's Maxwell Smart? Max would take care of chaos.
Would you believe? I loved that show when I was a kid. My mom and I used to watch it all the time. Movie was not as great. But
I enjoyed it.
It was fine. It was. I think maybe it's just being a kid versus being an adult.
I thought they did a good job filling in for Agent 99. I thought Ann did a good job.
Yeah. I believe everything is resolved.
Leading off the line 6, number 5, Colin.
So Colin Puckett will get his first opportunity to get an at-bat here, facing new pitcher Lemar Gonzalez. That one a bit inside. Puckett.
Siegfried was good too. Good hang time.
Ground ball, foul.
They're trying to get the cameraman down the line. They're working all the cameras right now.
Puckett has been playing left field the whole game, but he was the odd man out when Iniguez was going to be the designated hitter. Puckett a senior, a lot of seniors on this Kennewick squad. In fact, only 5 juniors. The rest of this team is seniors. Gonzalez pours one right down the middle.
Well, Gonzalez trying to just hold service where it is right now, down by 4.
Ground ball. Hunkpiller at third. Gonna toss across. And he gets the throw up on Holdren, and Puckett able to beat the ball.
That would be an infield hit. Big hop there, and tough play for Hunkpiller.
Hunkpiller just got a little too much air under it. Puckett beats the throw. Now to bring up Gavin Kelly, number 9 hitter. Top of the order on deck. Very, very close play at first. His first pitch of ball to Kelly. And now Colin Puckett. Looks like maybe that hustle and step on the bag did a little something to one of his legs, at least the lower half. Get a little stretched out. 1-0 the count to Kelly. He shows bunt. Gonna go to the left of Gonzalez. He's gonna throw the runner out at second. So fielder's choice.
1-6.
Nice cat reflexes by Gonzalez.
Yeah, really good play there coming off and first base side of the mound, and good arm. And we make that play to Williamson.
Other changes for Southridge. Ryland Hunkapiller has moved out to out to center field. As that pitch is low.
Yeah, we had a lot of moves that happened there. I think that was more or less what became the chaos moment.
Teagle has singled and scored, walked and scored, and also struck out.
We didn't need the cone of silence, so
no,
we didn't need that.
Close play at first, but Gavin Kelly back. Pitch to Teagle, grounder to second. Throw only play to first. There for Lechuga, and that'll move Gavin Kelly along to second on the 4-3 ground out. 2 away here in the 6th. Bradley Parker, 3 for 3, 2 singles, a double. He scored twice. Able to find some space in this point. Knocks in a run.
Do you think the shoe phone helped invent the cell phone?
You know, I don't know.
Could have that been the first thought?
It was as big as the shoe when it first came out, that's for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Those first,
looked like a block.
Yeah, the first gray block cell phones were swing and a miss, 1-1.
Putting the radio waves right straight into your head. That won't do anything, will it? Well, yeah. Not good.
1-1 the count now. Pop fly over towards first base. Holdren will be there, make the catch. Finally, they get Bradley Parker out. And that'll be no runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We head to the top of the 7th, 3 outs to go for Southridge. You're watching high school baseball on SWX.
We're on it.
Southridge chasing 4. They've got 8, 9, and then 1 against Trace Teagle, who's in to close this one out. Not a save situation for Teagle, but game's finished, another great category.
Enter Sandman.
Okay, I mean, I see what they're doing. I mean, I love the idea that he is the Kennewick version of Mariano Rivera. Has swim goggles on, that works too. But yeah, no, it's been actually, I came prepared for much colder temperatures, and the gloves have stayed in the pocket so far, so.
There's some kids sitting at home going, who's Mariano Rivera? Who?
Kids,
it goes by fast. Yeah.
Here, I just want you to know.
Hall of Famer.
The kids now probably love Edwin Diaz and his trumpet entrance, or Mason Miller and his
fastball's down 3 miles an hour, and the Dodgers are worried.
Yeah.
It's way down.
Mason Miller comes out to a song by Korn, but it wasn't all that common back in the day, and Mariano Rivera would come in to enter Sandman. First pitch, a ball to Sullivan.
There was a day when 95 was looked at as an above-average fastball. Now it's
now it's average.
Pretty average. They're worried about Diaz.
He goes through this from time to time.
See, there's nothing structurally wrong. They've looked at him, and Dave Roberts didn't seem too worried.
Pitch. Strike 2. 1-2 now the count on Sullivan. He's grounded out and struck out. On deck, Rylan Hunkapiller. Southridge needs base runners.
Then again, who would think that the Dodgers have become the Yankees?
Yeah, no.
Today's Yankees.
Today's version of the New York Yankees. The Yankees are still kind of the Yankees, but
they're
not
more
they're
more the Laurel and Hardy version.
Full count has gone full now. And Braden Sullivan.
Saw the thriller they won last night, 11-10.
Yeah.
The walk-off wild pitch.
Pop foul over our heads. The game, notable part about that game, Aaron Judge homered twice, Mike Trout homered twice. One of them is hitting 360 or something like that this season. It is not Mike Trout. But he's found his power stroke again.
Yeah, Trout looks good too. You know, he's such a nice guy. You want him to do well.
Surefire Hall of Famer when the time comes.
Just a shame he had to go through the health issues, but talk about good people and
good person on a bad team who only got to play in one playoff series.
But you can get into the game cheap.
Yeah, but you can get to see him. Popped up right over. Dom Driver is going to catch it next to his shortstop.
There's a lot you can say about the Angels, but you can get in for a pretty good price.
They're accessible.
Yeah, I think they're one of the lowest average prices in the major leagues.
Which is pretty surprising considering it's Artie Moreno.
Well, I think he realizes what the product is.
Ball 1 to Rylan Hunkapiller. He's grounded out and hit by a pitch.
Yeah, you can still get a Coke and 4 hot dogs and 4 seats in the upper deck down by the foul pole and a family price. Of course, everybody's got to get binoculars to be able to see what's going on up there. And being a 60 stadium, the way that the slope, you feel like you're going to fall down when you're walking down the steps.
I just try to keep track of whatever name they are anymore. I still am partial to the California Angels because I thought that logo
that
was
way they could humiliate the whole state.
Yeah.
Was what we
that
used to say.
That logo was amazing.
Yeah.
The California with the A and the halo around it. Oh, what a great logo. And a 4-pitch walk to Rylan Hunkapiller. So he's on board for the second time today.
I can tell you how Angelinos think. They moved. And they play in Orange County, and the stadium is 18 miles from the LA County line. You're not even in the LA County.
Yeah. Playing in Anaheim?
You're in Orangutan County. You're nowhere near LA.
I have never heard it called that before. That's a new one.
We've had some Daves, but
Trey Holdren doubled in the first, struck out as a board on a fielder's choice.
I'm not a Duck fan.
These when they were the Mighty Ducks, they evoked a nostalgia as Holdren smacked upside the shoulder. So 2 on, 1 away.
Well, this game isn't over yet.
Lenny Ayers going to go out and talk with Teagle. Get him locked in. Ryan Wade hit by a pitch, grounded out twice. What he wouldn't love, yeah, and there you can see, showing the first base coach where that ball hit him right between the shoulder blades.
First big league game I ever saw was in May of '64, and it was at Dodger Stadium. And you know who played?
Maury Wills.
The Yankees and Angels.
Oh, in Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, they had about 34,000 people. I looked in amazement, and we had Whitey Ford against Dean Chance.
Oh, okay.
2 great pitchers at that time. And, of course, Whitey Ford, needless to say, one of the greatest cheaters of all time. He'd have nicks on the baseball. Elston Howard would do it. He'd take it, sharpen his shin guard, and then nick the ball. And, you know, you always wonder, how'd this happen? They check the pitcher. They never check the catcher.
Strike 1 to Wade.
And that was what the book Ball 4 by Jim Boughton leaked all that stuff. So certainly not the Yankees telling it. It was Boughton, and they hated him ever after that book.
He was blackballed after that book, which he spent the most of that time in Seattle playing for the 1-year existence of the Seattle Pilots before they were moved to Milwaukee.
An ownership group that had no money and got rained out 22 times at Six Stadium. Other than that, it went well.
You can go and find that, like the old mark where home plate is as the ball gets through. I think it went right through the catcher's glove of Bradley Parker. And that'll be a pass ball. Yeah, I think that's like a Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that right now, but in the vicinity, wherever Six Stadium was.
Yeah, it was up on the hill.
You could go and find the home plate marker.
Yeah, it was up on the hill and kind of looked out on where the Rainier Brewery was.
Swing and a miss, strike 2 for Ryan Wade. Of course, Seattle's was the home of the Seattle Rainiers for many years as a AAA team. There's strike 3 on Wade.
I remember I got my first look at the Kingdome. I looked at it and said, hey, it's a pretty nice orange juicer you've got here. Okay, you just get a big orange and take it up there and make some fresh squeeze.
Southridge down to their final out for Leomar Gonzalez. 0 for 3. Base hit gets him 2 though, and all of a sudden the tying run comes to the dish.
T-Mobile is such a great park. The only thing I wish they had done is enclosed it so you didn't get the cold air.
Yeah, so when the roof is closed, you're still not fully exposed. Ball 2 from Teagle.
You know, you get 40 degrees outside, it's 40 degrees in there.
It's still 40 in the
building.
building.
And you're right on the ocean, and that ball's not going to carry.
Pop foul, that'll get out of play.
Yeah, supposedly, once A-Rod got a look at that park and Junior got a look, they said, we'll never hit home runs here. You know, and people didn't realize like that third deck in the Kingdome was like 380 feet. So when Junior hit one up there, it wasn't as far as you thought.
Yeah, they just had to get it over that wall. Ground ball to short. Picked up, and actually don't kind of eats him up a little bit at short as Reese McClure. That'll score a run, and indeed the tying run will come to the plate.
Yeah, lo and behold, and it's Nick Williamson.
Williamson 2 for 3, singled twice, scored a run.
Well, this game isn't over yet.
Nick Williamson.
Dick Mott would say the fat lady has a mic.
Yeah.
Still has it.
She's warmed up.
Yep, she's ready to sing.
Southridge not ready to go down. Williamson pops that one up. That one's going to get over off the left-hand side and in behind ours to our left. 0-1.
Well, Southridge has done his job. Get a run in. You've got the tying run at the plate. And game time now.
6-3, top of the 7th. Southridge down to their final out. Nice eye by Williamson. 1-1 the count. Southridge bench trying to get Nick going. Just begging for a hit. Runners on the corners. 1-1 from Teagle. Outside ball 2.
Really good take there. Not a bad idea with the pitch too. See if he'll chase it away, and Nick did not.
Yeah, Nick's dad telling us he was quite the baseball player and then just decided that wasn't for him initially. But as a senior, he wanted one last run. Now it's 3-1 to Williamson.
Man, that's a tough pitch to lay off, but a great pitch that he didn't go for.
Jesus Lechuga on deck. He doubled his last time up against Teagle. 3-1. Southridge down to their final strike. Gonzalez going to take off from first. Gapper scores 2 probably regardless. Full count. Teagle in the stretch. Pitch. Up and in, ball 4. Base is loaded. Now the tying run on first for Jesus Lechuga. Dom Driver going to come in and have a quick conversation with Trace Teagle. Lechuga has 1 for 3, double and RBI in the 6th.
Also grounded into a fielder's choice, but that double is what's going to be fresh in Teagle's mind. When you gap that ball to right center field, and you do that here, you might have a tie game.
Williamson at first, Gonzalez at second, Holdren at third.
With the number 42 up on the board, and tomorrow, by the way, is Jackie Robinson Day. Yeah. Everybody will be 42. Except the teams that are on the road. That'll be when they get back home.
Popped up. That is in play. Bradley Parker there makes the catch, and that'll be it. Southridge threatens, but they cannot score the 4 runs needed. They only get the 1. They fall to the Kennewick Lions tonight, 6-3. Very similar score to last week's game, a 7-2 Kennewick game, and Southridge are going to have to wait a little bit longer to try to break the losing streak against the Kennewick Lions, their intra-city rival. Coming up on SWX, if you'd like to watch a replay of this game, that comes on Sunday, April 19th. That will be at 11 a.m. Next Tuesday, Jason Quintero and myself will be over at Edgar Brown Stadium for El Clasico de Tri-Cities. Chihuahua and Pasco will get going there at 7 o'clock. The follow next week from Friday on the 24th, Gonzaga baseball. And then we have Chihuahua and Kennewick softball from just across the way here over at Key Fields. That comes up on Tuesday, April 28th. Our high school schedule wraps up on May 1st. Find out more at SWXLocalSports.com. You can also catch a replay of this game on our YouTube channel as well. Craig, final thoughts?
Thought it was extremely well played the first 5 innings, some great pitching in the first 4. Then the game kind of opened up. That 4-run inning in the 5th inning for Kennewick, and how they did it, using the speed, started running, and that created the runs, and that's the difference in the game.
Yep, that 4-run inning ends up being absolutely the difference. Big thanks to Matt Funk and the entire crew for being out here and enduring the weather with us, and a big thank you to Craig West as well. And a thank you for you guys for watching wherever you may be. My name's Kevin Rantz. Have a great rest of your Tuesday night.